All right, as I mentioned earlier, the same day that President Biden issued his vaccine mandate, his Department of Justice sued the state of Texas. What did they sue them for? They sued them over their heartbeat bill. And on Wednesday, a federal judge appointed by Barack Obama, Robert Pittman, overturned or put a stay on that law. And just moments ago, the state of Texas has announced that they are taking action and they're appealing that decision to the Fifth Circuit. Joining me now to talk more about this is the Attorney General for the state of Texas, someone who is on our program frequently, Ken Paxton. General Paxton, welcome back to the program.
Hey, thanks for having me back. It's a pretty important topic for us in Texas.
Well, I think it's an extremely important topic for the country. And, I want to first ask, the Supreme Court let this law go into effect. The left was outraged that the high court didn't do their bidding. So they shopped for a venue there in Texas, going to an Obama appointee, and he took action. What did he do?
He basically put a stay on the legislation that was put in effect by a duly elected legislature of the people. And so we think he's wrong. We don't think he has the ability to stay court hearings across the state, because basically he's put in an injunction on all state courts. We think that's why we're going to challenge it. We think we'll be successful when we get to the Fifth Circuit.
So what's the time frame that we might see something out of the Fifth Circuit?
Well, we're hoping quickly, because the stay obviously stops the legislation that elected representatives put in place. So we're hoping that when we get this on file, which we were shooting for today, if at the latest Monday, to get this on file, we're hoping rather quickly so that our legislation can go back into effect. Every day that this legislation has been in effect saves about 150 babies.
The Texas legislature, looking at all of the information, they made this choice. They put this law into effect that when a heartbeat is detected in a baby, at that point forward, for the most part, abortions cannot be obtained. As you said, there has been clear evidence that this has saved lives in the state of Texas.
Yeah, and I think that's the goal of the legislature, is to protect these unborn children when it's clear that there's life. And a heartbeat is about as good as you can get to detect life. You detect a heartbeat. And so really, I mean, we all know that Roe v. Wade has been a disaster. And this is one of those laws that I think and hopefully will challenge, just like the Mississippi law will challenge Roe v. Wade. And we can go back to individual legislators who are elected making those decisions as opposed to courts making those decisions.
Now, it appeared to me that this opinion by Judge Pittman, 113 pages, that he just seemed to have a real beef with the Texas legislature.
Yeah, I think he does. Obviously he's an Obama judge and has a very different view on the world than the legislature, but he's not elected. He was appointed by President Obama. His job is to interpret the law. And he's trying to do that, I guess, but he doesn't have the role of overturning legislation like this. And I think the Fifth Circuit, we'll see. We have more judges on there that view the Constitution in a different way. And I think we have a very good chance of getting this stay knocked out and the people's representatives' role put back in place.
Okay, so let's explain this. The Supreme Court didn't passed on it. They didn't step in. They let the law go into effect. That threw the left for a tizzy because they're accustomed to the courts doing their bidding for them. So then you had this suit that was brought forward. They have stayed this. If it goes to the Fifth Circuit then will rule, either upholding the lower court's decision, staying it, or where might it go from there? And when might we see a final decision on this law?
Well, so I think if whoever wins or loses, it goes again back to the U.S. Supreme Court again. I would not be surprised to see it go there. And then they could rule on the stay. And then we go back, I presume, to court again to deal with the actual merits of the case as opposed to this injunction that's been put in place. So I would anticipate this is going to go on a while.
So right now we're only dealing with procedural matters, not the actual substance of the law itself.
Yeah, although with a 113-page opinion, it seems like he really got into the substance more than just the procedure. So I think we'll go back to the drawing board on this, but it's going to take a while to get resolved, which is not surprising given the court system and the way it works.
But the significant thing here is that for a month it has been in place and it's been working in the state of Texas, saving lives. Your goal is to see it back in place until it is fully litigated and adjudicated through the courts.
Yeah, my job is to enforce state law and to represent the state of Texas in litigation. So yes, I want to put back in place what the legislature put in place. It's my job to do that. And so we're going to do our very best to make that happen.
And I know you will. Ken Paxton, thanks so much for joining us today. Always great to talk with you.
All right. Have a great evening and a great weekend.